20 takes their place of honor.
Nobody wants to do it.
They're all like, can we move? Focusing on that.
See the one that's taller than
I would like to start this evening by introducing the Board of Education members who could join us this evening and others who are on stage with me today. Our Board Vice President, Mr. Gene Phillips. Our Treasurer, Mr. Randy Hill. And our District Administrator, Mr. Joe Lecision. My name is John Mesnerich, and I am the principal at the high school. I would like to take a moment and recognize some very important individuals who have made tonight possible for our graduates. Would all of the parents and guardians of our graduates please stand and be recognized? As I recognize the following groups of students, I would like to acknowledge that although not all of our graduates were able to attend tonight in person, I would still like to recognize their accomplishments. I ask that we hold our applause until after all the names are read. Students, as your name is read, please remain standing until everyone's name has been read. Our first group to recognize is the honor students of the class of 2020. These students are seated with their class and are identified by a silver honor cord. They represent the top 10% of their class. In addition, all of these students maintained a GPA of 4.0 throughout high school, which is a tremendous accomplishment. Would the following graduates and parents please stand as I call your name? Preston Scott, son of Doug and Rebecca Scott. Michaela Schubel, daughter of John and Amy Schubel. Bryce Klabunde, son of Derek and Tammy Klabunde. Mackenzie Cohill, daughter of David and Lynn Cohill. Mark Daniels, son of Tom and Diane Daniels. Lexi Kringle, daughter of Chad and Heidi Kringle. Michaela Gillette, daughter of Mark and Cammie Gillette. Jenna Schwartz, daughter of Jim and Tracy Schwartz. And Emma Mesnerich, daughter of John and Judy Mesnerich. Please give our honor students a well-deserved round of applause. Cameron High School recognizes members of the class of 2020 for their leadership, service, character, and academic accomplishments in being part of the National Honor Society. National Honor Society students are identified by a blue and gold honor cord. At this time, I ask them to stand as I call their names. Eliza Anderson, August Ringelstetter, Jamie Crotto, Mark Daniels, Lauren Heil, Mackenzie Cohill, Remington Ladd, Michaela Schubel, Jenna Schwartz, and Sierra Tatro. Please give our NHS students a round of applause. Next, I would like to take a moment to recognize Cheryl Hopkins. She worked on putting together the graduation program. Cheryl, go ahead, stand up, wave. She came in on Wednesday all by herself to work on getting the program ready for tonight. So thank you very much, Cheryl. At this time, I would also like to recognize our senior class advisors who are here this evening. Mr. Martin, Mr. Rideout, Mr. Daniels, Mr. Makula, and Mr. Hoy. Give our advisors a nice round of applause. We have a number of graduates this evening who would have been participating in either their final band or choir performances. And although, unfortunately, they were not able to perform for you tonight, I would still like to recognize them. With the following students, please stand and be recognized. Eliza Anderson, Micaiah Byrne, Aaliyah Felder, Aurora Phelan, Johnny Getchell, Katie Gillis, Jacob Gua, Brandon Groskopf, Jesus Garula, Jacob Johnson, Emma Mesnerich, Abby Rasmussen, Dawson Rich, Brianna Safford, Michaela Schubel, Jenna Schwartz, Preston Scott, Sierra Tatro, Aradia Vanderweest, and Anthony Williams. Please give them a nice round of applause. Finally, I would like to take a moment and recognize our seniors who have made the decision to serve our country in the armed services. Johnny Getchell has enlisted in the National Guard. He wasn't able to join us this evening because he is currently in Fort Jackson, South Carolina at basic training. We will have several members of the graduating class speaking to you this evening, and at this time, I would like to ask Jenna Schwartz to give tonight's welcome.
Good evening, and welcome to the class of 2020's graduation ceremony. Though our ceremony has been delayed and is being celebrated under unusual circumstances, the time has come to officially congratulate the young adults, a group of advocates, you see before you. An advocate is a person who publicly supports or recommends a particular cause or policy. And if you don't already know, this group of kids has a lot of personality and some very strong opinions. For many years, we've had strong opinions on things that in hindsight didn't necessarily matter. like whether we should be able to decorate our caps at graduation, to what cheers we should be able to yell at basketball games. And you might think that made us nasty, or prone to fighting, and okay, maybe in 5th grade that was true. Sorry Bryce, you shouldn't have beat me in 4 corners. But I'd like to think that we've grown up a bit since then. And I like to think after all these years, we've become a pretty unique group of advocates. We've developed strong opinions on things that do matter: politics, humanitarian work, mission work, and more. And with that, you will see us hitting the polls to vote for the very first time in November. It means you'll see us entering professions related to the things we advocate for. It means sitting here today, our future firefighters, chemistry teachers, and immigrant advocates, social workers, and engineers, and dancers. It means that because of our passions, we have a lot to contribute to the world in one way or another. We've come a long way from playground fights. John F. Kennedy said during his inaugural address, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." And as the daughter of a veteran, I see what my dad has done, and that is the sacrifice we usually think of when it comes to serving your country. He has been an advocate for our country. But I challenge each one of you to do your share. In whatever way speaks to your heart, advocate for something. That being said, I'd like to thank our parents, teachers, and coaches, the most important advocates in our lives, for helping us figure all of that out along the way. To our parents, thank you for raising us to be stubborn enough to take a stand, yet compassionate enough to remain kind while doing so. To our teachers, thank you for showing us how to listen and research, giving us the tools to develop our own opinions so we could figure out our true passions. To our coaches, thank you for consistently pushing us past what we believed were our limits and disciplining us in a way that taught us respect, showed us our strength within, that we maybe didn't know existed. As the great Mr. Rogers said, we live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, not my community, not my world, not my problem. Then there are those who see the need to respond. I consider those people my heroes. Welcome to the graduation of the class of 2020, a group of humans hoping to become heroes.
Thank you, Jenna. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Rideout to please approach the stage and give the class address.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. Thank you, class of 2020, for allowing me to be a part of this momentous occasion. I've given a lot of speeches, sermons, and presentations. I found that the key to a good speech is that it's short and memorable. And I guarantee that this will be one of them, and I'm hoping both. For those of you timing, it'll be about 5 minutes, so you can start to watch right now. I'm going to ask you to all be a part of this speech, graduates, guests, and administration. As a PE teacher, I feel that the best way to learn something is to engage yourself in the lesson. Some of you have done this activity before, some of you have not. Here's what I would like you to do. Because it's hot, I won't have you raise your hand all the way because then we'll see the pit stains. Here's what I would like you to do. I'm going to ask you to raise your hands in the same direction that I raise my arms. So if I do this, your hands go up. This way is right, this way is left, this way is down. Okay? And I would like you to also say that direction. Okay? This is better than just sitting there doing nothing. All right, here we go. Everybody. That's up. Okay, easy enough. Now what I would like you to do is do what I do, but say the opposite.
Oh dear.
So, what I expect is that your hand will go up, but you will say down. Okay? Let's try it.
Down, up, right, left.
Okay, final part, and I promise that besides just amusing, this actually has a point. Here's what I would like you to do. I want you to say what I'm doing, but do the opposite. So, if I put my hands up, you say up, but your hands should be down. Here we go.
Down, right, left, up, down.
Okay, I think that's enough to get the point of this. All right, like I said, this is going to be amusing, but also it's going to remind us of 3 important lessons that I hope you leave with. Lesson number 1, it's not the years in your life, but the life in your years. Most of you attempted this activity. Some of you just sat there. The first thing I want you to remember as you head out into the world is don't be a spectator in life. Live it. Be a participant. If I asked your parents to list 10 things that they're most memorable in their life, I doubt they would list watching Ross and Rachel blossoming relationship on TV. Don't be afraid to try something because your fear of failure or what others think of you. Life is a beautiful, exciting playground. Explore it. Lesson number 2, change is inevitable. The first activity was fairly easy and represents most of your life pre-2020. Judging by the number of graduates I see before me, most of you were successful during this time. Your parents sheltered, fed, and supported you. Your school, hopefully, helped prepare you for this time right now, where many of you will leave and start a new chapter in life. One not under the constant watch, rules, and security of those previously mentioned entities. The second activity was a little harder. Some of you thought about quitting, but most of you battled through and were successful. This represented those bumps in the road that you'll face, those little problems that pop up all the time, but are merely speed bumps in life. The third activity was hard, and some of you probably quit trying after 2 times. This represented the real rough patches of life, such as the time we're in right now. As you face these rough patches, here's what I implore you to do. First, don't quit. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on those around you. Be a beacon in the night. Second, adapt to the change. View the rough patch as a challenge to be overcome. And finally, look at the people around you. Family, friends, classmates. Lean on these people during those hard times. Just like during this activity, they didn't stand idly by. They struggled with you. These are the people you can lean on in life. Don't go it alone. You have people that will struggle along with you. And finally, lesson number 3. You can't always control a situation, but you can control your response to it. I controlled the rules to the activity you participated in. You had no say in the rules or the activity. The only thing you could control was how you responded to the activity. This has been a year unlike any other year. Many of you lost out on sports, proms, goodbyes, and many other important events. You had no control over those things. What you did have control over is how you looked at and reacted to the situation. Did you continue to look back at what you missed out on? Or were you thankful for what you had the possibility to do? More time with family, chance to develop new hobbies, chance to earn more money at work. As you leave here tonight, don't look back at the negatives. but focus on the positives, like me being done talking. I wish you all the best as you leave here. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Rado. At this time, I would like to ask Mickey Gillette and Lexi Kringle to come up to address the class.
Good evening. The day has finally come, the one we have waited for since we stepped into the high school halls. Even if our special night got delayed a couple months, it doesn't take away from the importance of this celebration.
No doubt, we have had accomplishments and memories that need to be commemorated. Over these past 4 years at Cameron High, we've had fun, yet all worked really hard.
To say a few, Bryce qualified 2 consecutive years for state golf. The dance team broke it down 4 years in a row at the state competition, and the pep band hyped us up at sporting events.
Johnny led us in the national anthem and taps with his trumpet, but also his voice. The boys basketball team were conference champs, first year in Heart of the North.
The cross-country team made multiple appearances at the state meet with our very own Aurora leading the way. And lastly,
But not forgotten,
the class of 2020 took its rightful place on the Spirit Stick this past homecoming.
you've heard it a million times. It's not about the destination, but the journey. Standing at the destination, looking back at our journey as individuals, as well as a class, how did we get here? Who shaped us into the young adults who we are today? Although it is bittersweet that we never saw the senior countdown hung up in the cafeteria or took the class trip to the Kalahari, we are thankful for the time spent at CHS.
We are grateful for our teachers who pushed us to learn the material aside from the grade and taught us to savor every moment instead of watching the clock. Our parents who spent countless hours supporting our passions and making our dreams theirs as well. Our best friends who gave us unforgettable memories and never let us be stupid.
Alone. We've watched each other grow from the scared kindergartners clinging to their parents on their first day of school to the awkward middle schoolers figuring out how to use Snapchat and Instagram in the 6th grade. Time flew by while we received our yellow slips in Mrs. Schroeder's office and played kickball on the notorious first grade side. Pretty soon, we were 5th grade Battle of the Book champs, learning to use deodorant and soaking in our last outside recess. And there we were, fresh out of summer of 2016, ready to be the stupid freshmen.
We went on first dates, bought cell phones, got out of our comfort zone, took art classes and general mechanics, and went out to Applebee's after our first varsity games. Some of us gained freedom in the form of car keys, which later turned into a hard-learned lesson, also known as a ticket.
Others took in every ounce of advice as their older siblings showed them the ropes, and we awaited the day we would walk across the stage, just as they did.
We've made it. We've powered through the ACT. We took an endless amount of career quizzes, and we made it through an international pandemic. We're adults now. The world is at our fingertips.
Wherever you go, after walking across this stage, I hope you believe in all that has shaped you. I hope you let the hard times strengthen you and the good times welcome you.
Class of 2020, I hope you go for your dreams because they are yours to have.
Every year, members of the graduating class put together the senior slideshow. Because we are outside, we are not able to view the senior slideshow at this ceremony, but the senior slideshow will be shared with all of our seniors in a YouTube video. Nonetheless, I would like to give recognition for those seniors who worked on getting the senior slideshow completed. Special thanks to Sierra Tatro, Jacob Johnson, and Jenna Schwartz for creating the senior slideshow. I would now like to invite Mr. Joe Lecision, District Administrator of the Cameron Schools, and the members of the Board of Education to present the class of 2020 with their diplomas.
Members of the Board of Education, I present to you the graduating class of 2020. Those who are graduating today have met the graduation requirements as set forth by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction and the School District of Cameron. Would each class member please come forward as I read your name to receive your diploma. Hannah Ella-Mae Adamson. Eliza Leslie Anderson. Renee Kathleen Breon. Peyton Mitchell Busick. Micaiah Ann Byrne. Jamie Lynn Crotto. Bailey Nyla Engelstead. Aaliyah Latasia Felder. Aurora Alexis Phelan. Keegan Lee Ferris. Haley Rianne Flatland. Peyton Emerin Frank. Shelby Elizabeth Frolic. Katie Lynn Gillis. Michaela Jean Gillette. Jacob Michael Wack. Brandon Harold Grosskopf. Jesus Javier Girola. Lauren Ashley Heil. Brianna Lynn Helt. Tyler Dean Hensel. Leland Thomas Huffman. Wyatt Anthony Hutton. Kayla Ricky Johnson. Jacob Benjamin Johnson. Bryce William Klabunde. Mackenzie Rose Cohill. Ramsey K. Krotzek. Alexis Lynn Kringle. Remington Lee Ladd. Jalen Dean Lamson. Connor Lawrence Lamson. Jakaya Inez Louise Manor. Emma Arlene Mesnerich. Dawson Freeman Mickelon. Kristen Olivia Oliver. Adriana Marie Palacios. Clayton Keith Paul. Carson Ann Pelka. Lily Annette Plicknine. Riley Jacob Pritz.
Embarrass him, like you said you were gonna do.
Dylan David James Radke. Abigail Ann Rasmussen. Sid Lee Reingens. Dawson James Rich. August Morgan Ringelstetter. Alexa Joy Robinson. Natalie Rosa Maria Rodriguez. Brianna Marie Rondaha. Brianna Ray Safford. Michaela Marie Schubel.
It's so cute. It's like affecting my lenses or something. They're just a little easier.
Jenna Lynn Schwartz. Preston Cameron Scott. Chase William Seacroft. Kennedy Sierra Seaballs. Sierra Nicole Tatro. Dominic Lee Townsend. Aradia Lynn Vanderwist. Anthony James Williams.
At this time, I would like to ask all of our graduates to stand. Make sure your tassel is on the right side. We'd like you to turn around and face your family and friends in the stands. Class of 2020, please turn your tassel. All right, you can turn back around again. At this time, it is my pleasure, we'll have you take a seat, to ask Mackenzie Cohill and Michaela Schubel to give our closing address.
graduated class of 2020, and family and friends. I am incredibly blessed to be here speaking to you tonight at the end of our graduation ceremony. After months of quarantine, social distancing, birthday parades, and rationing toilet paper, we are here, together. But I can't help but think, this is not what was supposed to happen.
Throwback to March, I remember begging Mez to give us another spring break. You know, using those 5 snow days. But I never had this in mind when hashtag coronavirus was trending on social media. Looking back now, I'm glad we had those measly 5 days in school. It wasn't much, but it was 5 more chances. 5 more opportunities to see everyone, to walk the halls, to have D-Mart ask us if we were joining track in the spring. We may not know it now, but we will miss those moments.
These past 4 years have been filled with memories of triumph and defeat. We've certainly learned how to cherish every moment, and we've worked together to overcome all sorts of failures. From the beginning, from being the guinea pigs of 6th grade to living through a global pandemic, we've proved that these setbacks don't define who we are or who we can become. And as we look back on our time at Cameron, it was the successes and struggles that have shaped us into who we are today. We are hardworking, we are resilient, we are flexible, we are open to new ideas, but most importantly, we are ready. All of our time spent here has prepared us for the next chapter of our lives, whether that be in college, doing charity work, joining the military, or entering a trade. No matter which path of life you choose to take, know that we are ready, and we are capable of success. COVID-19 has hit 2020 like a freight train, yet here we are. 13 years of our lives was not diminished by 4 months of isolation. We prepared for this moment, and we are here to celebrate it, despite everything. Now it is time for Jeopardy Review. Michaela, please select a category.
Things we learned in global studies, for 300.
For 300 points, this Chinese philosopher developed a religion to bring peace and stability in society.
Who is Confucius?
Correct. Confucius once said, "It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop." Class of 2020, we are here because we never stopped, and we are never going to stop.
Looking back at our senior year, we made a lot of big decisions. No matter what, any decision you made is okay. If it's right for you, it's right. If not, fix it. As long as you're moving forward, you're doing something right. We are adults now, though I still feel like I'm 12. I know we've listened to numerous stories about how far a smile goes, but it truly does. We all know the difference you feel after a good or bad encounter with a person. Surprise them with how kind you are. And you know what? Wear that weird shirt that only you like. No one will remember in a few days, unless it's really weird. But if it makes you happy, what does it matter? I hope this list of motivating advice will bring you success as we move and grow into mature adults. This life is yours. Impress yourself by reaching those challenging goals. Get that dream job and earn it for yourself. But don't forget to take yourself out for coffee or ice cream once in a while. It's always okay to treat yourself. And remember to appreciate those around you. Keep in mind we are a conglomerate of the people around us. So pick a strong friend group and live every day to the fullest. Embrace all of the small things, even the bad times, because just like our final school year, it can be taken away in a heartbeat. You might not realize what you have until it's gone. Class of 2020, you've made it this far. You must be doing something right.
Thank you, Mackenzie and Michaela. We have one final tradition that we want to take care of before we conclude this evening's ceremony. And that will be the tossing of the caps. So, seniors, please rise, turn around, face the audience, and on the count of 3, you can throw your cap. 1, 2, 3.
Look how pretty.
On behalf of the Board of Education, administration, and staff, I would like to express our sincere congratulations to the class of 2020. We'll wait just a second for everybody to collect their hats.
Ooh, that's bright.
Once again, class of 2020, congratulations. Best wishes in your future.
All right, Dylan.
Go, Eliza! And of course, Dylan's friend Riley.
Hey, Leland, let's go get you. Let's go get you. Let's go get you a girlfriend now.
Good luck with that one.
A girlfriend?
Who's getting a girlfriend?
Leland.
We're going to take a glitch right at the end. We're supposed to have really cool
He's
reception.
like, no.
All right, while we're waiting for that, graduates, if you would just start on our back row, go back up to your families. Ushers, if you would take your spots. As the graduates get back, you may start.